hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lorena Creole, and with me is her of positive fandom and the Burnett work. How are you doing, dear?
I'm doing great, Lorena. So glad to be here. Can't wait to watch this film. That was been such a successful anime, and I just am so excited to see it. I've never seen it, heard so much about it, so I'm really excited for this screening that we're doing.
I'm excited as well. And folks, that's the movie that we're going to be screening or actually watch party for is the anime film called Your Name. Original title. Oh my gosh, please don't trash me too hard for screwing this up. Kimi no Na wa. So I
Kimi no
think
no wa.
so true. So that's your name. And I've heard so much about this. Two teenagers share a profound magical connection upon discovering they are swapping bodies. Things manage to become even more complicated when the boy and girl decide to meet in person. I'm very excited about that. About this. You and I, we've done so many anime streams, and there always seems to be more anime than we can watch and we have time to. And this is just one of those where uh, I really, I really think we're going to be in for a treat. Sounds like for the both of us, it's one of those animes where you know what we wanted to watch but didn't really get a chance to do so. Let's see. So, without further ado, here we go. You have sound, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Lorena, this film was known for incredible animation. So you're going to see such beauty. There's going to be so many beautiful scenes just like this one, Lorena.
I am just blown away just from the beginning, just how rich and bright and vibrant the animation is. And most of the anime that I've watched, that is how it usually starts out. The animation just grabs you from the beginning. It almost kind of reminds me of Studio Ghibli
Hmm.
in a way.
It's that level of quality.
Hmm. The way the perspective turns, oh my gosh. So they both saw the same star. And yes, we are watching and listening to the English dub. I thought it was going to be Japanese with English subtitles, but we got the English dub. Just how fluid this is. I have to find out which animation house did this. Mhm. Interesting that it's this film is distributed by Toho,
Mhm.
which I believe is the same Toho group responsible for the Godzilla films.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Funny how we sleep with our phones not that far away from us, huh? Now you know it's a guy. I have proof now.
Hmm.
How does that work? I swear that sounds like the voice actress who did the voice for Ponyo. That same energetic, crazy energetic voice. I love that. So it's like she doesn't know what's going on, and we don't either. Interesting in history, anytime comets have come by, it's been like some kind of profound thing where they think the world's coming to an end or
It's like
it's an omen for something.
Y2K.
Yes,
Although there was no
absolutely.
everybody thought everything's gonna end and you can't get
Hmm.
milk and like sort of like
Oh my gosh, look at the water in the back.
what?
What? Talking about.
So her personality is so different today from what it normally is. People think there's
Hmm.
something.
It makes you wonder what happened. but a good storytelling hook because it gives us a mystery, and we're just like, hmm, mm, okay, dang. Hmm?
Who are you?
Who are you? Goodness.
Ah,
Hmm? He really just bring up the multiverse. Funny.
looks nice to me.
Beautiful. But it sounds like that whole small town. I can't wait to get out of here and go to the big city. Cat cat cafe.
Aw, they need their place too. Yeah,
Like where?
a vending machine.
I know, right?
Ah,
That's it. What are you gonna do after high school? I don't know. Everyone keeps asking you. Hmm. Preservation of history. Love that. We're doing the sake, drinking the sake. There's a lot of AV equipment. Uh, is that for real?
I don't know.
uh, I thought sake was made from plums. Not gonna lie, that's gross. We saw you chew up rice and spit it out and wrap it like a present. hmm I love how you thought about that.
Oh no.
You find your phone. Oh, I have done that. That just sound. Where my boobs at?
Yeah. And then it's like, uh-oh. Uh you
Well, shouldn't mean.
can't.
How did that happen?
He's got to cover all boundaries. Even if you're late, make sure you go.
Hmm. Yeah. He's like, run, you're late. Probably one of your boys. Is he in Tokyo or is she in?
That's the
Yeah,
city. That's the city.
because she sounds just like I. In my next life, I want to be a Tokyo boy. I wake up and boom, you're in Tokyo. She kind of tried to tuck her hair back like a girl, but no, she's not a girl anymore. It's just,
He's that late. It's lunchtime.
wow, you could get to school that late. Mm. Hmm. A real cafe.
And not a vending machine.
And I love how we're all just like a real cafe. Let me get a picture of my food. Mm.
I'm guessing it's dad.
Get it? Like, bruh.
He works in a restaurant.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Why does he sound like such a scammer? Yeah.
He's a scammer. Did you see that razor cutter? What was that for?
I don't know. I'm curious as to what that was for.
Oh, he cut her skirt.
Hmm.
What a jerk.
Yeah. What? That's right, because he does.
I love it. I love it.
Like, is that how I got that on my face? What does he say? Two of it. Who are you? It's a beautiful nightscape. Are they like switching bodies like every other day?
Seems like there is some kind of odd switching.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
But
Uh, uh, stop lying. Like, I hate you so much right now. Player hating.
that little girl sees everything, man.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go over here. What? Yeah, her daddy. Mhm.
How you like that?
Yeah. She's like, "I did what?"
I beat up who? It's like Jason could look at the notes and see what's
I
happening.
like that they're using this journal to, like, communicate what's going on. I like that they didn't tell us that. They had to walk us through what was going on because we're just like, what's going on? What's wow. It's like I'm trying not to touch my boobs. I'm trying not to touch my junk. This is very interesting. It sounds like another anime that I've watched recently, I'll have to tell you. Ah. At least you're not touching your boobies. That's something that such a little sister would say. Careful with skirts. Oh my gosh, that almost looks like a picture, like a real life picture. She's like, I'm just having girl time with her. Hmm.
The comet.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. it's like you can't tell what's hand drawn, what's CGI. It just all melds together so well. Oh my gosh.
She's gonna carry her grandmother? Oh,
How cool was that? Oh, wow.
it's amazing.
Yeah, that's probably got something to do with craziness going on. A crater. Oh my gosh. Hmm?
Wow.
That is crazy. And
So
almost oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was saying it's so beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And that entering the netherworld kind of reminds me of in Spirited Away, that like rock or tunnel that they went under and boom, they were in some place different. Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
What?
What?
The grandmother knows?
And he's sweating just like from when he was carrying his grandmother. Oh, crying. Your house.
That's not cool. That's not cool. That's not cool. I thought they weren't supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, that's what I thought because they work together.
He wanted to hang out with her pal, her friend, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, girl time, you know.
But this is going to be a little different. Right? Mm-hmm.
She
She looks
looks
cool.
so pretty.
because you like him and you set yourself up by setting him up with another girl. Like, what's no kidding. Did she give the middle finger?
Yeah. You too can get a girlfriend. Maybe. You've seen that place before, I'm guessing.
Now, wait a minute. He knows where she's going. She lives now. If he recognizes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This isn't going the way I thought it was gonna. Because you're blushing and
She figured it out.
yeah. Weirdo. You calling her? Oh, that is gorgeous. Yes, it did. She cut her hair?
I wonder why.
Huh. Oh my gosh, the movement of the grass and everything. Wow.
That's incredible.
That looks so gorgeous. Oh, wow.
Do they talk on the phone?
That's weird. I thought he was calling her.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to call her. I didn't know they talked like that.
Yeah.
He's sweating.
Hmm. Is he look so he's drawing everything about where she lives because she lives like in the boonies somewhere and he's trying to recreate what it looks like.
Well, he went to that museum with the other lady and saw a picture of it.
Mhm. And there it is. Wow. He's been drawing so many aspects where she lives.
That's a train station.
Mhm. Is he going to where she is?
About what? I can't believe it.
That's what I thought.
Why did they stop?
So when he tried to call her, like it blocked, and then you noticed he didn't see any switches, more switches going on.
But wouldn't he remember the name of the town? Like it's so unusual. They forget when they wake up.
Because I would have thought that when he saw the pictures in the museum, that it would have said where it was taken.
Agree.
It's a town with a crater in the middle.
Well, he's using Google Maps or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is turning out to be like Lion, you know?
Meanwhile, my friends are eating and sleeping on me. It's like road trip. You better not dare give up.
Hell no. He can't get.
Yeah, we did. I ate a skewer. Ramen. I love ramen. Well, the kind you make yourself, not the $5 for $1. Hmm.
Ding, ding, ding.
And here you go. hit?
What's going on?
Don't tell me
It wasn't destroyed, was
it
it?
looked like a crater because they said when we go here, we go through here, we're gonna go through the hereafter, and then it looked like they were in this place with, like, a crater in the middle, just like this.
The town's gone. Was it destroyed? Oh
I
my
think
god.
so,
The whole place is wiped out.
because she looked up, and then that was the last thing that
Oh
we
no.
saw. What?
3 years ago.
Or
Does
do
he?
you? Are they disappearing? Okay, I'm confused, y'all.
Wow.
Meteor strikes, wipes out town. 500 dead are missing.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Let me guess. She's in there. Hmm. Wow.
I can't believe it. He couldn't have just imagined all this.
Yeah. Where'd you get it? Who gave it to you? I'm guessing when they switched bodies, she put that on there. Time travel? I don't know. Let's see. I have to go somewhere and go back to Tokyo without me. I'll return later. Thanks, Taki.
Is it where the temple is, maybe?
I think so. Because he was from there.
Thanks for the bento box, sir.
Yeah. Funny how he remembers all of this. And that's it. So why is everything so green here? And that's where the temple is. Hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Half of, you said you leave here, you leave half of yours.
It's not what I think it is.
And I hope it's not that fermented sake she chewed up and spit out.
It is.
That's gross as hell.
Maybe it's not that one. Maybe it's not that one. Maybe it's just some other.
Something else. Wow, this looks crazy.
It's like a ribbon in time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're crazy right now. Really? Really?
So what is she gonna do? Or he gonna do?
Is this going to be an exercise in futility? Ah, but first, we need snacks. I like how they think. We're gonna need snacks. Hmm. I'm worried. Okay.
What? Oh, because no one will leave. They're not gonna leave.
Hmm. So you're an accessory.
Yeah, she's in the AV club, so she's gonna have to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Can she?
Mm,
True.
true. Yeah. Yes. Uh-oh. They're trying to
What?
Baker act you.
What? You can't do that to your dad. Mm. They're all getting ready for the festival and opening,
Oh, you
booths
party.
up.
You mean to tell me we can't lose all this money because you think a comet's gonna hit town? You know?
She could ask them to just postpone it by one day, and if she's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but then you wouldn't see the comment, right?
Mm-hmm. I what? Mm, not so good. What's up there? Oh.
Oh my gosh, can they save everybody? This is turned into something very different than what I thought this was about.
Yeah. I totally thought this was gonna be different than what it was or what it started out as.
Someone is in that temple right now. Looks like it, I guess.
Mhm.
Are they going to run into each other?
She's going too? So she went to Tokyo.
So he went to where she lived, and she went to where he lived,
Mhm.
passing ships in the night, or in the day in this case.
See, that's where he called from last time.
It's very bad reception of that. That's a dead zone, right? Is that what we call it? It's like
Yeah.
a zone.
Mhm. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
So he doesn't know who she is. So he didn't know who she was.
That's how he got the.
How he got the cord. Oh, that is crazy. Can't see them. Are they in the same spot?
Oh, wow. There must be some phenomenon where they're located.
At one point in time. How they can finally see each other. I'm, come on now.
No, don't give it back. What if that's what's keeping them linked
I
together?
know, right? Mm. Oh,
Write it down. Write it down.
he forgot just that quickly. And he can't remember her name. He just remembers all the feelings, but not her name.
You're trying to outrun the comment.
Mhm. Just the way that they draw the light. Love it. Ooh, okay. Be real. Yes. It's that one crazy friend. Like, "We wanna blow something up? Alright, let's do it."
Is it going to work?
There it is. You can't tell them that the comet's gonna crash. They're like, "Are you nuts?" But, hey, the electricity substation is on fire? Alright, that's believable. Yeah, people don't seem to be too much in a hurry right now.
You're talking on the census control.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Even the dog was like, "Ooh, busted." I remember hearing about the Shoemaker Levy comment.
It's too hard for them to predict trajectory as it's flying in. Like it's too difficult.
Mhm. And so unpredictable. Oh no. Y'all, I'm gonna cry. He couldn't remember her name, but just that he loved her, and that's what he wrote.
She's so far away. I
Oh my gosh, how the camera pans. So that's the one that got through the atmosphere.
And it's like a nuclear bomb
Mhm.
in this particular case.
'Cause remember, folks, a meteor took out the dinosaurs.
Oh God.
There's the bridge, everything. Like, wake up, bruh. Wait,
That ribbon.
yeah. Man, all them job interviews. Whew. Y'all suck. You have a new message. Hmm. The suit looks like it's wearing you. 8 years since the combat disaster. Hmm. So he started drawing it again.
So
Mysterious explosion at substation.
so they did make a difference.
Yeah. Remember they were drawing up the plans. We're like, yeah, this is outside the blast zone, so we got to get him here.
Okay. I thought everybody was gonna perish and they didn't.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But he doesn't remember any of his involvement in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh my
he should
god.
just go back to that place and see if he could find what he's looking for.
Possible. I guess that's supposed to be like Starbucks.
This must be her sister.
Mhm. Looks so pretty. I know who that is. The cherry blossoms are out. Guess he didn't cut himself. Oh my gosh. Are
Are
they
they,
living like right next to each
I was
other?
are they in the same building or they're passing through the same train stations?
Mhm.
Are they going to meet on the train again?
That would be perfect. And that this time they remember who each other are. Oh, come on now. Met before? Oh, she's crying. Oh, daggone it. That was better than them running into each other again on the train. Oh my gosh.
Uh, uh, yeah. Hmm.
And I'm telling you that ugh, anime movies always like you in just the gut. I'm just amazed at how without fail they just tap into your emotions. Like the last anime movie that I saw, well, the one that I saw in the theater was Demon Slayer Mugen Train. That movie, I came out of that theater, like, emotionally exhausted because just so many things happened, and you get so emotionally, invested, and we get so emotionally invested in these characters, right away. I mean, it's
Yeah,
wow. Take it away.
yeah, yeah. It was such an incredible story. I mean, it was, and it really he saved her. This saved her. It was incredible. It was incredible. It was really, really incredible. Just I
Yeah.
can't. I just like at a loss of words. I can understand why this was such a popular film. It's a romance, but it's also saving like lives of hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people. It's just amazing. It's an amazing story.
It really is, and I love how there was so much mystery where we are as confused as the 2 teenagers are, where we're just like, what is going on?" And we're getting information from the people that, that are around them, and we think that, "Oh, it's gonna be great, they're gonna meet, it's gonna be perfect," and, "What do you mean that the town was destroyed 3 years ago?" And you're just kind of just like, "Wait, what? How is how does that work?" And just the determination, or it goes from there where he's determined to find out what happened, that he wasn't dreaming, you know. He wasn't dreaming. This actually happened, for real. And between, Taki and Mitsuha, I mean, it was just so beautiful. You're just like rooting for, please let them take this seriously because, they're going to die. They're all going to die. And I love the time travel involved. It reminds me of another movie that was starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock called The Lake House.
Hmm.
That was a time travel thing where they were out of sync for a
Yes.
couple of years. And she's like, "Why didn't you show up for the date?" And he couldn't remember why. And it turns out that that was the day he had actually wound up dying. Like, she saw this man die, get hit by a bus, and it was him. And she writes the letter and puts it in the mailbox, says, "Please do not cross that street." And she waits, you know, at the mailbox. And I'm going to put it like that for those of you who have not seen The Lake House, but it is it's kind of like a similar plot. I want to say they probably took some for that because the original story for The Lake House was from a Japanese movie, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. And I think that Japan does suffer from a lot of natural disasters,
True. Hmm.
and that this is, kind of reminds me of another movie called Millennium, where it starred Chris Christopherson and one of Charlie's Angels with Cheryl Ladd. And what was
Hmm.
happening in that story was that people in the future were rescuing people from not maybe not natural disasters, but people who died,
Hmm.
and kind of rescuing them and sending them into the future so that humanity could have a future. And I really do like this concept of being able to warn them, what had happened, because the night of the event, it'd be incredibly hard to convince people about danger like that. And that's just a
Mhm.
phenomenon, I think, that is just the reality of existing. You warn somebody about something, and are they going to take that advice? Well, you had mentioned it, Lorraine. You were like, they can't just go ahead and say the whole town's going to be destroyed. They wouldn't buy that. You have to say something else. Oh, there's an attack, a terrorist attack. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
out of here.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm
Well,
done.
we're done.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. So I think it was very interesting that that was what was chosen. And then of course everybody was outside of the danger zone. So the event occurred. There's nothing they could do to stop the event, but they could change the circumstances around where people were during the event. And I thought that was very clever, very a very different way to approach this.
Mhm.
As I realized, I said, yeah, they're right. You can't just go ahead and say that. What would anybody even say? It's I'm just happy that it worked out. And this is really, and it's a romance. It was a romance.
Yes, it so was, and, the part that just, like, got me, and I literally, like, almost started crying, was when they were just like, "I'm gonna write your name down. We need to write our names down so we remember," and he's just like, "I'm not gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget," and he forgets
Mhm.
what what it is, and she's trying to write it down and write her name on his hand, so the next time he switches bodies, she'll be able to see that. And then when she does see it, it doesn't have her name, but it says, "I love you." And that's like my that's like when you kind of have to laugh, but she's like, "Well, that's not helpful." Not helpful logically, but emotionally it does, because she just has even more of a resolve to try to save everyone. Um, because of that. And that longing, years later, when you see that, they're both like, I feel like something is missing. I feel like I'm searching for something or searching for someone. And I don't know what that is. And they're running around. They don't know. They think they see each other and then they're trying to find each other and they're not quite sure what to do. And true to that toxic male instinct, dude steps out, makes the first move, and says, "I'm sorry, Miss Patu, have we met before? Have I seen you before?" And it's like all she needed to hear. And she's just like, I've been thinking the same thing too. Where she's crying, he's crying. Lord, everybody's crying. Everybody's crying at this. And it's a beautiful, romantic, human story that's, starts uplifting, by the middle it's just like, oh well, this is depressing. How the heck are we going to move on from this? And then to end on such a high note, it's one of those things that I can see the worldwide appeal of this.
Exactly. And the animation was stunning as well. Some of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen was in this movie. Um, it's not a surprise why this was number one for so long. I don't know what the how much it made or anything like that, but I could see why it was such a popular anime for so long, Lorena. It broke. I don't know whether it broke records, but I know it was incredibly popular when it came out, and I did see
Mhm.
advertisements for it. It was not dubbed at the time, so, if you wanted to go see it, it would be in another language, but certainly,
Mhm.
it's truly just a spectacular anime with the most incredible animation. It's just stunning.
It's absolutely stunning. The hand drawn, anime. It's just beautiful. You're so caught up in what it looks like and the ethereal look of it all that it's just like, wow, I just cannot believe it. And that's like one of the magic of anime, to be able to render things just so beautifully, and like the play on light and shadow, where it's just like, is this real? Are people moving like that? Is hair move like that? water, like that. It's such a fantasy. But it's also the reason why I think so many people are trying to do live action remakes now. I will say, when it comes to the shonen type of anime, which you and I have watched, like with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Cowboy Bebop, where there's a
Mhm.
lot of fighting action going on, live action doesn't really lend itself to that. But after seeing this movie, I pretty much have high hopes that they could actually do that. So this was from Variety, which I think I did point out, I think in a stream like way back when, is that the director of Raya and the Last Dragon, which was an animated Disney film, is going to do a remake of Your Name. So this is Carlos Lopez Estrada, and with Your Name, grossed over 230 million in Japan. So yes, it was a huge success. It's, the animation is a romantic fantasy drama considered to be a modern classic in Japan, and I totally understand why that is. But in this reimagined version, the two teenagers discover that they are magically and intermittently swapping bodies. When a disaster threatens to upend their lives, they must journey to meet and save their world. So I guess they're going to kind of change how they meet. So instead of the disaster happened and we found out about it, now we have to stop it. I guess now it's somehow getting together to meet in the middle.
That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? That they could just stop the disaster? Like, how could they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to go around and do that. So that's going to be the interesting part, because the bar is set extremely high. People will compare this to the original anime, and if there isn't that, um, I would say, if there isn't that emotional impact of that disaster with how it's handled, I don't think it's going to go over. It's going to go over well.
Yeah, I don't see how that's going to work. And I honestly, this is something that I think is very difficult to do a live action because of the beauty of the cinematography in this. A lot of this was about the preservation, obviously, of their love, but also of the surroundings that they lived in, and it seemed like such a peaceful place that she lived in, only to realize that it did have some sort of disruption so many years ago, and then was going to have another one. So just I think by pure coincidence, but even so, um, that peacefulness is something that would deter the townspeople from leaving because they interpret it as being in a safe area. So that's something else. I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to work out a lot of the minutia of it all. Um, and is who what is the cast going to be like? Because this is culturally Japanese, and I
Mm-hmm.
would want to see this
Exactly.
move itself away from being Japanese at all. I want to see Japanese actors. I want to see the Japanese culture. There's a lot of ritual in this. I want to see all that ritual that was really important. Certainly don't want to see a situation where they remove all the cultural aspects of it. That would be just such a degradation of the film.
Yeah, because one of the reasons, well, I won't say one of the reasons, we'll say the primary reason that people love this is because it is distinctly Japanese, even down to the mysticism that is in it. Again, very uniquely Japanese. That's why it has so much appeal, because it's culturally, the culture is intact, and it's their culture, but wrapped around a universal theme of love, of impending disaster, wanting, if you could go back in time to save someone, would you do it? So they do have their work cut out for them. I will say that it's not as high hill to climb with shonen, because shonen relies so much on action. But you brought up a very good point, and that is with all of the visual imagery. Are they going to put the money and the work into that to make that impact, that emotional impact? So that is, we'll just say, it's not the same as shonen, but it's a different hill. It's still a high hill, different hill, but still high. Never, nevertheless. So we will see what happens with this one, with the live action remake. I'm not really a huge fan of them, but with this one, apparently Toho is going to handle distribution of the film in Japan. Paramount will release the picture in the US. So we will see if they're going to do that casting in Japan, because hey, this is too good to screw up a live action remake with. We have not seen a live action anime actually work yet. So, and this is one that's very beloved. I want to say, with all the live action remakes of anime that are in the pipeline, One Punch Man, I don't know how they're going to do that. Um Death Note, that one kind of scares me. Even though the Duffer Brothers are supposed to be handling that, it's like, okay, we'll see, we'll see what they do. And then of course, here's, Your Name, and One Piece is being done by excuse me, by Netflix. And then this is another big one. So we'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens with the live action remake, this is one that I feel I need to own on physical media because it's just so beautiful.
It's stunning, and you see work like this, as one reporter said, that the film was dazzling, and it is. I mean, you are witnessing a phenomenon, not just in the story but in the artwork, that is maybe some of the best, maybe the best anime artwork I've ever seen in my entire life. And you know how much anime you and I have watched through the years, like 20, 30 years
Mhm.
watching anime. This was just
Absolutely.
remarkable, beautifully done. The cityscapes, the countryscapes, the colors that we saw. It was just, and the romanticism of seeing, it starts off with this beautiful, we actually, it looks very, very beautiful. It's actually a devastating event, the death of
Mhm.
hundreds, maybe thousands of people that you see in the beginning of the story, but it looks stunning as the comet falls from the sky. You see it above the clouds, then you see it go through the cloud, and then you see it below the cloud, and then it's kind of this phenomenon that really is quite breathtakingly beautiful and deadly at the same time. Um,
Mhm.
and so I think that entire thing, like here where they show the poster art and the comet is between them, it is the thing that keeps them, could keep them apart, because even just from a design point of view, that comet could potentially keep them apart forever. And it's like the ability to have this intervention where this miraculous thing seems to happen,
Mhm.
where they're switching bodies. I mean, I kind of wish this really would happen. It's like, if you could save, you do an event like this. That's why I said it reminded me of Millennium, because in Millennium, they went and got people who died in disasters and things, and they replaced them with bodies, but the people who were deceased are actually saved and sent into the future. And I'm like, I really like that idea. I really like the thought that these people didn't die, and that they're
Mhm.
going off somewhere else, living their lives. It's true, perhaps they're not with their loved ones, but at least they have this other chance to survive. This is, entwined with this romance between the two of them, where nothing actually happens between them. There's no physical or anything. It's an emotional relationship they have, where
Mhm.
they have to deal with what's happening, and they don't understand what's happening to each other. Although everybody around them knows that something's wrong with each of them. You're not
Yeah.
yourself today. The way you were acting yesterday, you were totally crazy. Like, it's like, and they're like, well, what did I do? Oh my god, what did I do? It's kind of like, it's almost like, you have friends who drink too much and they don't remember anything they did at that party last night, but
Mhm.
you have the evidence on here. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I got those shots of you, and you're like, I did that. So it is very interesting, and I would call this supernatural fantasy.
Yes.
That's, and then maybe even science fiction, although it doesn't feel like science fiction. It does feel like science fiction, but it doesn't feel like fiction, because these comets happen, and like I said, these
Mhm.
natural disasters are something that they have to deal with in that country, and I'm sure that there is a sense of a fear of these natural disasters. And so the idea of kind of being able to put somebody in a safe place, in a out of harm's way, is something that's very, very appealing, to people in Japan. I know it's appealing to me. It's really appealing to me. I wish we could do this. This is something that I want to happen in real life, Lorena. Um, Maybe not some guy feeling up my boobs, but you know what I mean. Maybe not that part, but the rest
Mhm.
of it. So he was like, I couldn't help myself. I'm like, I'm sure he couldn't. He must have been very mesmerized by that. So, yeah, it just, yeah, yeah, it was nearly, I would say it's pretty much a perfect film. And it, for fantasy, for romance, for, even scientifically speaking, how do you protect people from a natural disaster? Well, if you tell them it's going to come, then they're not going to believe you. So you have to do something like human behavior, the behavior of people when natural disasters are around. Like, there's a lot of
Mhm.
studies that could be based off of this, or studies that I'm sure they have conducted of how to affect and help people to observe certain behaviors, and so that they stay out of harm's way. Like, it's a lot. This really is something that's kind of miraculous, even. Yeah, it's just such a great film. It really deserves so much accolades that it did get. Yeah, I'm not surprised by this at all.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Rotten Tomatoes in general, but you know what? There's some stuff where it's just like, look, the proof is in the pudding. You cannot ignore it. Look at this, 10,000
Yeah.
ratings for the audience score, and it's a 94% as beautifully animated as it is emotionally satisfying. And they
Mhm.
are 100% percent right.
The film is appropriate for families. It's appropriate for any age, honestly, I think.
Mhm.
It really does. It actually has, and of course, we do see this a lot in Japanese films, or in Japanese, culturally Japanese films, especially, where you see the older generation. The grandmother was there, and
Mhm.
that whole thing where you're going to see the older generation around. The grandmother was taking care of the children, and the father sort of like working. He's working to support them. But
Mhm.
I think it's very interesting, the importance of this, even culturally, how their lives are very different, that their town was very much involved in the cultural traditions of the town, and how important it was to preserve that,
Mhm.
and his shock when he found out that the whole town had been obliterated, that nobody had survived. It felt like such a shame. It felt like he had lost not just the love of his, this beautiful girl, but it did feel like something culturally had been lost as well. You could kind of mourn the loss of this beautiful town that has this beautiful culture, and you can see them practicing the culture, which I loved, even though that was kind of gross. But um, it was still very, very interesting, and it's okay. But it was beautiful to see how they felt it was important to preserve that. As you said, Lorena, it's like, it's important to preserve these traditions and the history. Really, just they hit it on all the marks.
They did, absolutely, absolutely, and yet again, another anime film that did not disappoint whatsoever. I tell you, this is probably my second favorite, or maybe third, because let's see, I know for me, I love Spirited Away. Oh my God. I love Spirited Away. I think that's like my number two. Um, Ninja Scroll is like number one. And this one, oh man, it's hard ranking these. It really is because they're all just absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, the level of quality is spectacular. To me, I'm going to put this one on number one on my list because I think that it has so many fantasy elements that we like to see,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of things. What's happened, more or less, is where he finds out that um, and I think it's him now. My confusion only stems from the fact that they switch bodies, and I couldn't remember at which point when the bodies, when they switch, whether it was him or her who discovered it. But I think it was him. He discovered what happened, and it was really important. He had to warn them. Like this. He got on this mission to warn them. He almost didn't even know what he was doing, but it was
Hmm.
clearly him. And I think that was kind of like very interesting. And you and I always talk about the importance of the prince aspect of how he comes to save the day, and he certainly was a driving factor. He's saying, you got to get out of here. You can't,
Hmm.
this whole place, you can't stay here. And I thought that was so incredibly important that he had to do that. That was his, he didn't know it at the time, but that was one of the major roles that he had in keeping everybody safe. I really like that he got to be the one to play that role in this story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Loved it. Well, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us for yet another amazing and fun watch party, especially for anime. We so absolutely love it. Well, first of all, please tell the folks out there where they can find you.
Guys, you can always find me on my channel, Positive Fandom, where I do all the parlay and the fandom on my channel, Positive Fandom. So please do check that out, like and subscribe. I do gaming streams, I do movie reviews. I also do, my show Sunday Brunch on Sundays at 10:30 Eastern. So definitely check that out. You can also find me on the Burn Network. Lorraine and I do Ladies of the PGS there, amongst other things. I've got PGS Treks. I also have Midnight Musings, which I do with Robert and Leal, amongst many, many more things coming up. So do check me out there as well. Also check me out here on Reina Creole's channel,
Mhm.
where we also do our Toxic Male Appreciation Show on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Lorraine's Twitch channel, and also watch parties like this. But you can also find me on the 1/6 Scale Man Network or on El Profesoro's channel for Uncivilized Scoundrels, a Star Wars show. But definitely do like and subscribe to Positive Fan of the Bird Network and, of course, this channel, Lorraine Creole channel. And Lorraine, thank you for inviting me here for this movie. I've got to tell you, if a guy took me to see this, he'd be a very lucky man.
I hear you on that one. This one definitely has you in a romantic mood by the end of this film. Heck, by the beginning of this film. Always love having you on my channel to do these reactions to these watch parties because you folks out there, you guys love it when we do these watch parties. So we're definitely glad that you enjoy them for sure. So, of course, please do subscribe to me. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this film. Have you seen it before, or is this one that's in your top five? Let us know about that. We'd love to hear from you. So, folks, thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you hit that like button, and we will see you soon. Bye.